What is beating puppy fans in the Ring Army? My name is Nines and welcome back to the channel. Today I bring you all super exciting news for Project Playtime's future, and I'll tell you now, this game is going to keep on growing into something amazing over time. It's looking bright. You might want to stay to the very end of the video because there is quite a bit of information you would want to hear and not miss. Before we begin, I want to thank you all again for the incredible support of my last project video and welcome to the new viewers. It says 82% of you who watch my videos are not subscribed. Guys, this is me when you don't subscribe. And this is me when you do subscribe.
Hi there.
It would really help me out, so thank you. Shout out to these fans who showed us support in the comments section. So, with all that out of the way, let's speed into the news. So recently, Mob Games had a Q&A podcast stream with some of the teams behind the games Poppy Playtime and Project Playtime, but this stream was mainly for Project and they answered so many interesting questions for the future of the game, including some of my questions. First question they answered was a community question, which was, will there be any way for the community to submit fan-made maps? And this is what they answered.
And we have one question from community member Bonnie. Will there ever be a way for members of the community to submit fan-created maps or any ideas that they have?
That is in discussion. So yes,
All right.
there's a possibility.
The idea of custom fan maps is absolutely cool to have in mind. Something similar on what Fortnite has. People can create their own maps for either their friends or even online players to try out. Now that they confirmed that this is something they are discussing, it will be very exciting to see what you guys create and offer. I would also be 100% glad to make a video on them if you guys would want me to. Next thing they mention is about GameModes being discussed. Listen to this.
And then we have the last question for you from a community member, Mr. Motivation. What is the first thing you do with coming up with a new idea that you want to implement to Project Playtime?
The first thing we do is we're right now rapidly prototyping new ideas. So, and to give a little bit of a taste of that, we are rapidly prototyping new game modes. So that's how we go through that process. We test things out thoroughly until we find what we want. When we hit gold, we push forward with that. So that's the main process that we utilize.
Thank you.
This was a very surprising statement. New game modes are finally coming into the game in the future. Take notes, Dead by Daylight. I wonder what they will add. Maybe a hide and seek mode, prop hunt, monsters versus survivors when the survivors can fight back. The possibilities are endless. Definitely looking forward to that. Next question they answered was a question I submitted. I asked if there will be more sci-fi skins coming into the shop and toy box. Let's see what they said.
And we got one for both y'all. Are there any future cosmetics that are either going to be in the toy box of the shop that are going to be more sci-fi?
Definitely. Personally, one of my favorite types of cosmetics we do are just these hard surface, like the robot ones. We have a really, really talented artist on the team, Pedro Baltazar.
Yes,
I'm not picking his name up, but very, very, very good at like hard surface modeling and
Yeah, Pedro's a boss.
yeah.
Plus, you know, a lot of people like any of our like electric hand is one that I worked on. A lot of our like very shiny, glowy, like electric shield sci-fi ones are ones that the fans tend to really like, and that's also really fun to make from a programming side of things. So definitely we'll have more cosmetics like that in the future.
All right.
I'm really excited about that. I love the sci-fi skins that are currently out, and it would be nice to see way more of them. After this, they mentioned a food Huggie skin, something similar to Lunchboxy.
Yeah, for you, James, how do you come up with such great cosmetics that you'll know that players will equip constantly and they'll be the most popular one?
Well, generally, it just really comes down to just trying things. So sometimes we'll do sets of cosmetics, so just like everything of just things like the word we just use is just gimmicky. I won't go too much into that, but like for example, the robot characters, we really wanted to go for that kind of direction. So just to make it really just appealing. Sometimes it's also just like throwing out ideas. So we might try one-off ideas for characters, skins, like for example Lunchboxy, which is a really bizarre skin where it's just boxing made up of different food items. But what I always look for is seeing how people react to those, and that really just tells us whether we should do more of a theme like that. And yeah, so it's like we saw Lunchboxy was really liked, so we're definitely look forward to a food Huggie coming soon for season 2.
Next thing they talked about is a new UI update and new game mechanics. Listen to this.
And then we have another question for you, Mitch. In the future, at some point in time, will there be an updated UI with what we currently have?
Yes, that's an easy question, yes. Again, there's a lot of things we wanted to have polish-wise for the UI. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the works with that right now. The UI team is working on a lot of overhauls kind of across the board.
I got one for you, Ben. Will there be any more movement mechanics like the rolling that we have? Anything that vaulting over objects or able to grab onto an object to move it?
Yeah, that's been part of our experimental thing we're doing. We've been playing with lots of movement mechanics, and we're all a big fan of movement mechanics. You know, we can't really say which ones we're going to put out yet. Don't want to make any promises, but we have plenty in the works.
And finally, they answered a question that was one of mine. I asked about if any collabs will be happening in the future, something like how Dead by Daylight does it.
And other one was somebody asked if we ever plan to collaborate with different studios, kind of how Dead by Daylight does. Do you think we ever have any plans for that?
I think it's an interesting idea. I mean, a lot of bigger studios, I think there's so much potential that Project Playtime can do. I definitely don't want to shoot it down, and being it's not a piece that could happen, but I think it's an interesting concept.
And that concludes the video. Of course, there were tons more, and I will link the Q&A down below so you can watch it yourself. I am convinced that this game has a bright future ahead. I have a love for the game, so seeing it grow is awesome, and I wish the team the best. Which update are you looking forward to? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Well, that's all the news I have for today, everyone. Hopefully you did enjoy. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new here to join the Ring Army. My name is Nines, and I'll speed you guys on the next run.
His name is Huggie, Huggie Wuggie. When he hugs you, he'll never stop. Your friend Huggie, Huggie Wuggie, will squeeze you until you